2-1. What's up? Welcome to Live. I'm Anthony DJ. That is Magnus, PhD in biochem in Cali. I'm in Jersey. We're just two friends talking. We're not giving you medical advice. Always check with the healthcare professionals. Magnus, cholesterol.
Yes.
Listen, as soon as people hear the word cholesterol, oh my God, cholesterol. I ain't got cholesterol. Cholesterol is killing me. It's so bad. Let's just clear up a couple of misconceptions and misnomers and things that just categorically false. First and foremost, number one, humans, we need cholesterol. Cholesterol is a good thing. Without cholesterol, you die. You don't. Without cholesterol, you will die in a second. So cholesterol is the building block of everything. It helps our cells become cells. Everything. So that's
hormones, the precursor to most hormones.
Everything. You name it. Cholesterol is part of our cells. It's the building block of life. Without cholesterol. Now, some people may say, oh, well, I know that. Okay, well, the next tier would be, well, then you have people say, HDL, LDL, and then you have your total cholesterol. Okay, so when you hear total cholesterol, people say, hey, my total cholesterol is high, or my total cholesterol is low. Total cholesterol does not tell the whole story. You could have a quote unquote high total cholesterol, but actually it can be very, very good because you might have a high HDL and a low LDL, but it combines makes it.
So explain when you're saying like LDL and HDL. Could you explain that so people know what the difference is, what it stands for?
High density lipid, low density lipid.
Yes.
So HDL is the quote unquote good guy. LDL is the bad guy. But poor LDL, like a snake. Just because it's a snake, we all think it's bad. We need snakes on Earth. Snakes are good. They help keep the balance of, the mother jungle. And LDL is good. Actually, LDL it transports the cholesterol into the cells. It's a transporter. Without LDL, you will die also.
HDL is usually ones that collect LDL, the low density, and brings it to the kidney, and then you have whatever happens, it becomes a metabolite, so broken down, it's get used as a building block, whatever it is, right?
Your LDL is the van, the truck that brings in the HDL. But if you have too much LDL, like too many snakes, then yes, you'll have a problem. But LDL gets a really bad rap, and then you have but too much LDL will kill you. That's true. But without LDL, that'll kill you too. So now here's the thing, Magnus, you get physicals, I get physicals. And I also think the medical industry does a little bit of a disservice because, you have these, well, what's a high number? What's a low number? That's a one size fits all. And that's really not accurate either because, obviously if you're at the bookends and your HDL is, let's just look at this. Okay. So let's just say let me pull this up. Okay, so you have numbers. Okay, so let's just say that your this is total cholesterol though. I want to look for HDL. I don't know what the HDL numbers were, but oh, you go. There you go. So if you're what is this? It's total again. So anyways, whatever the numbers are, right? Well, total's 200 and above, but I'm talking about HDL, LDL breakdown. So my point is, whatever the numbers are that say, okay, you're healthy or unhealthy, or bad or high or low or medium, that's a general kind of map. It's every human being and every body is different. I mean, if you're a smoker and a drinker, and you have a quote unquote high LDL, that could be a lot more dangerous than someone who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, not overweight, and has a high LDL. So it's total also same thing.
Can we make something clear to start out with? Is that when it comes to dietary like cholesterol and the cholesterol we have in our bodies, is that they're different,
right?
So even if you eat high cholesterol food doesn't mean that you might have high cholesterol. Is to remember, like late 80s, eggs were so dangerous because they had so much cholesterol, and like, if you eat too much eggs, you're gonna end up 6 feet deep straight away. Not true at all. It's actually shown that eggs are actually like a superfood. It's actually one of the has a high amount of nutrients, and it also has cholesterol as used as a building block. So it's actually good for you. So even if you eat food that contains a lot of cholesterol, doesn't mean that you as an individual will actually increase your cholesterol count, and that becomes dangerous. And I think people still live, a lot of people, and I would say that a lot, even you see a lot of doctors and things like that are still uneducated about this and think that it's extremely bad to eat eggs and so on. Like, eggs are great. The thing that I would say is that when it comes to eggs and things like that, you should probably not eat it every single day, right? It's the same thing with everything. If we overdo things every single day, we might get, and this also, eggs are actually one of the foods that we get kind of start having issues with if we eat too much because of other reasons. So that's why I'm saying it's like, you need to understand that like the food with high cholesterol doesn't mean that you're going to have a high cholesterol count inside your body.
Your body makes cholesterol, like your body also makes your temperature. So
yes,
almost, now you can control to some degree your LDL
of course
by exercise, eating fiber and fruits and vegetables, and staying away from saturated fats. Not all fats are bad, but saturated is. But your body still makes cholesterol because you need cholesterol. You'll die if you don't make it. So it's not that cholesterol is bad. It's just that, yeah. I mean, and so I think
like getting a higher cholesterol count, like bad cholesterol, is usually first like genetics has a lot to do with, and then like we're talking about lifestyle. Like drinking, smoking, sitting still, not moving, not eating any fibers, not drinking water. It's the same thing. We've discussed this like hundreds times so far about basically what you're eating, what is healthy, what is bad. Like it's always the same issues.
Yeah.
Like what is bad.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, I don't want to go down the road of statins either, but I know statins kind of tie into this topic a little bit. And it's funny because you mentioned doctors nowadays that, back then they thought it was bad. Now doctors, they realize it's good. Now you have a lot of doctors, actually, a lot of cardiologists that won't even recommend a statin unless there's a really acute situation going on. For instance, I have a borderline high LDL. Overall, my HDL is good, my total's good, but my cardiologist is like, nah, we're not going to put you on anything. Now, somebody else in my spot, maybe a different cardiologist, would put them on something. So it really comes down to now cardiologist to cardiologist. It's out of control, really, in a way. It's kind of like, well, because again, there's no standard. I think my cardiologist he said, look, and I think my cardiologist was right. And he said, look, Anthony, if we're just going on numbers alone and only the numbers, well, first off, let me say this. If you look at the studies of LDL, statins, I was kind of surprised because they said that if you go on a statin, take a guess how long it extends your life by. And the number was like, I think 2 days. Yeah. So all of these years that these people are on statins, you only get 48 hours of extra life. And that's not counting the side effects of statins. Statins are a drug. They're not candy. They fuck you up. Like, you're going to have, it comes with a price, monetarily and physically. So for the 2 extra days you're going to live. Now, again, it might be 5 days, 10, or whatever, but
it really doesn't matter.
Right. Now, cost benefit analysis, and this is why a lot of cardiologists, mine included, is like, hey, let's wait. No rush. Let's look at, he was smart, my cardiologist, because he said, look, you exercise, you eat right, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you're not sedentary, you eat vegetables and fruits. He's like, I'm not going to recommend. He showed me a chart. He's like, your chances of cardiac event are less than 1%. He's like, they're not. It's not going to be 0 chance, but if you were a smoker and you were overweight and this and that, he's like, yeah, you know what, you don't exercise, well, probably would recommend a statin. Yeah, but even that, how much is it going to extend your life? So it's really just
and also quality of life, like you said, with the side effects and everything like that.
Right.
Like, will it affect you even more negatively? And also like the stress of taking it and not taking it, forgetting about it, right, and so on. There's so many ways. I mean, like, it comes down to the same thing. It's like we still have an issues of people taking their medicine correctly. Right. Like that's a huge thing, and you see that's why you see a lot of people getting sick, because they're overdoing it, underdoing it, not doing it correctly. Yeah. And this is just basic things like, well, take X amount of pills here, there, whatever, once a month, every day, like 3 times a day. Like, we cannot even solve that. So I mean,
I would say, again, like to your point, yeah, I mean, like taking them correctly and stuff like that, for sure. Now, real quick here, I pulled up What are some of the side effects of statins? Minor side effects, right? We're going to get headaches, nausea, muscle and joint pain, digestive issues, increased blood sugar. Now you're going to give yourself diabetes, increased risk of diabetes, right? More serious side effects, muscle cell damage, liver damage, kidney damage, rhabdolysis. I don't know what that is. Condition.
That's when muscle cells starts breaking down.
Right. Other side effects, dizziness, fatigue, sleep problems, low blood platelet count, confusion, memory loss, skin problems, sexual problems, and pancreatitis. Wow. That's from a statin, folks. I think, the doctor should say, hey, let's get you a dietitian, nutritionist, and a trainer. And that will probably do a lot good for you. I think a statin should be only taken. I'm not saying don't take statins, but I think a statin should be taken if you're like, no, I hate exercise. I want to live on junk food. I like smoking. I like drinking. I like being overweight. I ain't doing shit, doc. Okay, then, probably take a statin, or you're training hard, you're eating your vegetables, you're doing everything, you're saying your prayers, taking your vitamins, you're running marathons, and you still got that high LDL, probably going to statin. But again, like cost benefit analysis, quality of life, so kudos to these doctors and cardiologists that are not just like 10 years ago, just take a statin, take it. Now we know it's like there's some side effects, it's not candy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it comes down to it's so funny how we always come back to the same thing. And it's like how important it is that you're taking your health seriously and you're not like living the American dream by driving everywhere, sitting down, moving, nothing. Like we have to understand that what's portrayed in media and what the companies are pumping out is not beneficial for a lot of us.
Right. And
by the way, for most of us.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah. So I think it's so important. Like again, there is not going to be a person that saves you. The person that saves you is you yourself. You have to take the interest, then invest the time, money, and energy to actually take care of your health.
100%. There's a lot of people out there that have a loser mentality. They'll say, "Oh, Magnus, I can't live forever. You're going to die." No one's saying that. We're saying, do you want to stack odds in your favor or do you want to stack odds against you? That's all. Nothing's.
But it's the same thing. Life quality, it's like being severely overweight that you cannot move around. You choose your heart. Like that stifle lifestyle when you're constantly hurting, things are bad, you're feeling like you cannot walk up a flight of steps without like feeling like your heart is gonna like rip out of your body.
Yeah,
that is not a fun.
Yeah, it's
hard.
not
Yeah,
and not to get off the cholesterol thing, but going back to that, right? So I mean, taking care of yourself, that'll take care of a lot of the problems that cholesterol.
Yes.
All of them, but anyway, so that's cholesterol. You need it. It's necessary. LDL is good too. HDL is obviously high density.
We need it. We need it. Same thing with the right doses. It's the same thing with the omega fats. We need all of them, but in the right dosage and the right ratio. So it's that's what it is. Like you have to understand that, like, take care of these things. The quicker you are at adjusting your lifestyle into removing these health risks, the better off you are.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not saying that go and eat and don't do shit. Like cholesterol levels do matter. It's just I'm saying that
100%.
You can't have cholesterol numbers that are off the chart, dangerous, LDL bad, or really low HDL, or your total cholesterol's through the roof. Obviously, go to the doctor. But I'm just saying though, it's not a panacea. It's not a one size fits all. And again, we need cholesterol. Don't be afraid of it. That's all I'm saying. And you should get your cholesterol checked at least once a year, I would say. And that's it. Anything else, Magnus, before we wrap up?
No. Again, cholesterol, important. Try to understand the difference with what you like. The cholesterol that is inside your body is different from the one that you're eating. Which one is bad? Which one is good? That you have an understanding of the basic kind of lingo and what it is.
Very good. Well said, Magnus. Thank you. Everybody check back in. We should do a show on statins. That's another show. But anyway.
Yes, for sure.
All right, dude. Thanks, everybody. Check back in. Magnus, have a good night.
Peace, guys.
Bye-bye. 5, 4, 3, 2.